massive talent gaps and are starting to use apprenticeships. So apprenticeship has been common in a lot of other countries, right? And youth apprenticeship, especially in other countries, is very common, but we're starting to see that build and grow here as well. What if apprenticeship and these access opportunities could start right out the gate? What if this was the way that people started the trajectory of their lives, right? So, for instance, combining public sector and youth apprenticeship, the city of New York has currently, I think, around 250 high school students who are full-time apprentices, youth apprentices working in their government agencies across their different agencies. So, and then I think also as the conversation around inclusion and equity is really coming more to a forefront, especially in the diversity in the workforce and apprenticeship space that we've seen in the last few years. The invitation to CBO partners, I think, is hopefully becoming more clear, but it's also becoming funded. So a lot of grants from state and federal agencies are including funding set aside for support services that need to be provided to create access.
You mind if I jump in here?
Please.
Yeah, so just kind of building off some Alex's point. So you would talk about this dichotomy of whether people need to go to college or get these jobs. I'm not sure that there's a binary choice here because there are a lot of models where, and I think this is a model that could scale, and we try to do that at the end of my time in the administration, but you could build out a registered apprenticeship pathway in a community college to university, right? You could get a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. You know, one thing we brokered in Phoenix was with Maricopa Community College and Arizona State University for the new semiconductor technicians that are happening, where they don't take on any debt and they go through this program, they get an associate's degree with Maricopa. If they would like, they could continue while they're working to go to Arizona State, or they don't have to, right? I think there's an opportunity for you all community-based groups to start working with your community college, be like, hey, can we build out a registered apprenticeship program? It'll open up new funding opportunities for that community college, and it helps them with their degree completion, which means more state and federal funding for them, right? And so on the Pell side, so I think there's a real opportunity for you all to bring that to the table. Another thing that could help on the community college side, I was telling Veronica this morning, is working with labor unions, right? Because a lot of community colleges don't have the capacity, the academic curriculum design, nor the faculty, most importantly, to do this work, right? Because faculty members going out to private industry because they're getting paid, right? But if they're working with labor, they'll have someone that'll be able to rotate and help them through. Labor helps build butts and seats, and how's the curriculum design, community college benefits. There's a real good opportunity. Some of the best models actually in red states. Indiana's got one of the best, most robust community college labor union partnership. That's a red state. So I think there's a couple here. In terms of new occupations that could benefit through this model, we talked about accountants. Accountants is a really big need right now. They usually require a college degree. Do you need one? Probably not, right? Civil engineers, that is massively important in California. With all the infrastructure work going on right now, if you're a civil engineer, you're gonna go to Google, right? You're not gonna go to do Caltrans or any of that work, right? Because you're gonna get paid more to do that. There's an opportunity in Europe, all civil engineers go through the registered apprenticeship program. There's an opportunity for you all to help build that here with your state or your local community. And I know maybe we'll get to this, but AI is a really major opportunity, particularly for the Latino community, to help reduce some of those language barriers and actually reduce the learning curve to get to some of these jobs. And probably new apprenticeship opportunities that can come up from that.
No, thank you. And I'll definitely turn on, because I would love to hear your take on AI. I know you had some good insight into that, so I'll tap into that as we get closer to the end there. You know, one of the things I wanted to share was some data. So there's, Brent talked about the administration is shooting for 1 million apprentices. Right now, they're right at 519,000 apprentices nationwide. That is absolutely amazing. California, in and of itself, has 82,520 apprentices. That is amazing. I mean, obviously, California does everything big and they have the most of everything, right? It's California, so what else do you expect, right? But for comparison, like in Wisconsin, we had 16,000. So you see that there's not, I won't say a handful, but there's a nice amount of states that really carry a lot of the apprenticeship programs or a lot of the apprentices in those states. One thing I wanted to break down here in California, Hispanic and Latino, 50,000 of that 82,000 are Hispanic or Latino. 50,000 of the 82,000 are Hispanic or Latino. And Luis brought it up, Brent brought it up. As we think about it though, where are they housed? Where are the individuals that are in apprenticeship? Where are they at? 18,000 of that 50,000 are in construction. There's a 40,000 or so within the educational services within mixed in there. So when we think about the opportunities that exist, and I take it back, I always use this example when I'm in California. I was in Monterey a couple years ago at a cigar lounge, and I was talking to a Latino guy, and we were just having a conversation. He worked in construction. And I asked him what he did, and he told me, and I said, well, this is what I do. So let me ask your opinion. How is it for Latinos in construction in California? And he was like, it's great. And I was like, oh, okay, I see, at that time I was looking at the data. He was like, but there's one issue. When we finish with our apprenticeship programs, we don't get an opportunity to advance. So one of the things as you think about, it's not just getting through an apprenticeship program, it's not engaging with an apprenticeship program, it's getting in and creating that career pathway such as Mac has done with the pre-apprenticeship into a registered apprenticeship program. You want to find a way to create that specific career pathway so individuals can grow when they're done, and then they can go out and they can start their own business, which then they can recruit their community back into the industry. So thinking about that, I definitely, Alex, I want to toss it to you, because like if someone is in the audience here in their community or government agency, what do apprenticeships offer to the Latino community specifically that they may not already know about or they may not have seen already in their industry?
Absolutely. I think for any employer, right, CBO, private industry, public sector, the Latino community has such a large representation in our country and definitely in our state. And so if you're an organization that is not employing Latinos, you don't have access to that voice, like within your team's decision-making processes, within even, let's say, your marketing or anything like that. There's so much data around how diversity enhances innovation and being in touch with your clients or customers. So for the employer side, it is direct access to a more diverse set of talent that represents the communities that you're trying to serve. We've talked all day long. Apprenticeship is the most accessible, I think, talent and education, process for an individual, for the single mom who can't